It's your boy MBP and what it do, chat? We back with some more motherfucking reactions and shit. I already got some shit set up. I was watching. I was like, why not hop on screen with it? Might as well. So let's get back into it. Right, see, T said we were gonna hop on about 5, but I think that nigga in there asleep. I'm downloading 2K on the PC and shit. Start doing some different shit for y'all, man. We really finna dig in that content bag, man. Coming up soon, dog. I'm trying to tell y'all, folks. I done got this set up and I ain't gonna do nothing with it. Then do something with it, you hear me? So shit, this is the shit of the it's called The Cost of Becoming Drake. I'm finna add it to the stage right quick. So shit, we can get into it. I'm already
A few months later,
12 minutes into
Future
it.
of Metro Boomin announced "We Don't Trust You," and again, they ended up opening with a song that shared the exact same name, "We Don't Trust You."
He was just saying how they was working and shit. He said pretty much a lot, but he just described, the start of the shit.
It was
I ain't gonna
simple
lie,
but
no
pretty
Drake on.
direct.
I mean, no Future on
Everyone
for
knew it
all
was
the
about
dogs.
Drake, but
No,
Future kept it
what you
going.
call them diamonds too.
It sounded like he was saying he saw what was really happening behind the scenes, and if things went too far, Future was ready. But when GQ asked Future about the supposed tension just months later, he laughed it off by saying there was a beef, although the music told a completely different story. "You a number one fan, dog. Sneak this in. I don't understand, dog. Pillow talking, acting like the Fed, dog. I don't need another fake friend, dog. Can't be about a cause we sharing, dog." He accused Drake of sneak dissing, acting fake, and letting women come between them. The friendship that once was hip-hop was now breaking apart, and it raised the question, was this Drake's own karma coming back to haunt him? But to understand that, we have to go back to Her Loss in 2022. Back then, Drake seemed to know something was off, and he was telling us in the music. He was calling out rappers who pretended to like it, saying he knew that they were talking behind his back because the woman they shared told him. Yet when he sent the verses, they still
Listening to a
used them.
pillow talking that bit, you can't do
Describing
that.
how those same rappers would smile in
Number one
his face,
piece.
shoot music videos with their arm around him, and jump around on stage like nothing was wrong. It sounded pretty personal, and soon after, it made sense why. Future and Drake dropped "Wait for You" just a few months before that album came out, and even filmed a music video together. Exactly what Drake described on Her Loss, and it already happened. It seemed directed at Future. Drake knew he wasn't happy with him, and he addressed it before anyone else noticed. It also makes sense why the two were radio silent during one of the biggest peaks of their career when "Wait for You" dropped. But just like many of Drake's conflicts, women eventually become part of the story. He dropped the song "What Will Pluto Do?", a title that sounded like a tribute to Future's nickname, Pluto. But there was one line that changed everything. Drake wasn't paying homage, it was payback. He was implying that he'd been with a woman Future had been with first. But there was a problem. Future had already rapped about that same situation back 2020 across the chains. So
Man, if y'all know y'all just going.
when
Y'all
Drake
rich
said what he
niggas,
said,
duh.
it didn't sound like a coincidence, although things were only starting to unwind.
If you fuck
Another
with the big
subtle
freedom
connection
shit, nigga,
appeared
man,
on
I'm fucking with
push-ups
the
when
big
Drake
freedom.
said this.
Lay out my hoe.
At first, this line didn't seem like much, until fans remembered Future's rumored girlfriend, Just Tokyo. She's been linked to Future for years. even wearing We Don't Trust You merch in March of 2024. But she was also seen showing up at Drake's concert soon later. Days after, something happened that would begin to connect the dots. She posted a photo wearing new Chanel shoes. And then if we connect this back to Drake's lyrics from Push Ups, it starts to make a little sense. This was a clever reference by Drake. Chip and Dale are cartoon chipmunks who always outsmart Pub the dog. And when you line that up with Future's lyric from We Don't Trust You, the pieces fit perfectly. It was pretty clear what Drake meant by being big in Japan, because it had nothing to do with music. But Drake wasn't done, and he was only getting more personal. This was a direct response to Future's Your Number One Fan Dog line. Drake reminded him, Way Too Sexy, Future's first number one hit only happened because of him. This line wasn't nothing, especially for someone Future once called brother. And although Future denied there was ever a beef between the two, he's no fool. Whether it was about the collab album never coming out, women coming between them, or pride, there's a real beef here. So I leave it up to you. Was Drake allegedly getting with Future's girls, or ditching off the collab?
Nah, he was hitting them nigga bitch. Chat on Motion Real last night. We just reacted to a criminal video. Oh God, them folks said, man, he ran a little practice. He was helping women get fertile. So he telling the rich ass white men paying for their wives. Them folks were married and shit. I'm talking about they put about 4-5 men on the stand and talk about how he took their wives and shit, made them divorce and shit out. They had kids and everything. But he running the practice to where he coming in, he telling your bitch when she ovulating, when she going on her cycle, when the bedtime, that held it. Like he hitting your bitch. You paying for him to hit your bitch. And somebody came and somebody hit him 4 times in the face on bro.
Future's simply just mad.
Can't be doing that to everybody.
Either way, as complicated as
you
this
a serial
person in Drake's potential line of karma is a lot simpler. And when you really look further into it, it gets a little dark. The blame for Drake's historic beef with Kendrick Lamar is often put on Drake himself for being overly sensitive, for not taking a joke, or simply being unable to handle competition. But what if what many see as the downfall of Drake's career wasn't entirely his fault? Drake and Kendrick Lamar first crossed paths in 2011, and the crazy part is, their story didn't begin with hate, it started with respect. Both artists openly praised each other in interviews.
Drake is a real good dude, first and foremost.
And even collaborated multiple times. This wasn't just another surface level industry friendship. It looked real. But all that changed in 2013 when Kendrick dropped his now legendary verse on Big Sean's
Control.
The verse wasn't a diss track, but it sent shockwaves throughout hip-hop. Kendrick called out nearly every major rapper by name, declaring war on the silence and claiming he was coming for the top spot, no matter who stood in his way. While many saw this as friendly competition, Drake didn't take it that way.
But you seem just now a little irritated by it. No, yeah, just by even saying that it was a little harsh words, it seemed like maybe it irritated you for a second.
It's like now it's like everyone's going to forget about it. I mean, people don't even care about it anymore. But now, especially moving on. The people that were mentioning that.
Look at us 10 years later.
It wasn't about competition. To him, it wasn't about competition. This was about betrayal. After all, Drake had gone out of his way to support Kendrick's rise. He put him on his double platinum album, Take Care. He let Kendrick open up for him on tour. One of OVO's main producers, T-Minus, produced the hit record Swimming Pools, and Drake even jumped on Kendrick's single, What a Justice. Not to mention, Drake showed Kendrick nothing but love publicly. So when Kendrick used that control verse to say he was coming for everyone, Drake felt blindsided. Someone that he helped to level up was now publicly declaring that he wanted to take his spot. This really hurt him, especially according to Drake. Kendrick told him in person that the verse wasn't meant to be serious. It was all lyrical competition. But Drake, he didn't buy it. In interviews, he said Kendrick should have stood on what he said.
Yeah,
That's
but
you're not
at
into
the
that.
same time, it's like, then let it be real then, I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like, you can't just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like, that's not real to me.
It was clear as day this bothered Drake. Even Angie Martinez pointed it out in their interview.
But you seem just now a little irritated by it.
And that's just the thing. He was. That so-called betrayal might not have been the only thing eating at it. The dynamic between them had changed pretty fast. In 2011, Kendrick was Drake's concert opener. By 2012, he was one of the hottest rappers in the world. And for someone as competitive as Drake, seeing his former concert opener becoming his direct competition might have hit pretty hard. So it raised the real question. Was Drake hurt by the betrayal, or was he intimidated by how quickly Kendrick had caught up? Whatever the reason, the follow-up between them stretched for over a decade. A subliminal war of shots, interviews, and bars built up to 2024, when everything finally exploded into something that changed Drake's life forever.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
It's my
At the
fault.
time that ended,
About how I
was
act.
considered a clear win for Kendrick Lamar. I even made a
I hope I act like
documentary on their beef.
I hope I don't act
But
like
after the
that nigga
battle
that
of
was just standing on my
2024, Drake didn't disappear like many expected. Although his reputation had definitely taken a hit. But the thing is, his reputation was only going to get worse. On November 25th, 2024, Drake and his legal team the first step before a lawsuit against UMG, Kendrick's label, alleging that UMG had dishonestly and manipulatively promoted Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. Of course, these were all just allegations, nothing was proven. But the fact that Drake took the fight to the courtroom was completely unprecedented. But the thing is, it didn't stop there. Another petition followed, this time accusing UMG of defamation, claiming that because it caused irreparable damage to Drake's personal and business reputation. Clear reference the song's potential message about Drake's relationship with younger girls. But in early 2025, the case finally reached court. After months of review, the judge dismissed Drake's lawsuit entirely, ruling that there wasn't enough evidence to support the claims. This dismissal immediately became a trending topic online, with many calling it a huge loss for Drake. Some said it officially closed the door on their feud, while others argued it marked the lowest point of Drake's career. But what we can't argue about is that this feud, which began with one person something artist either artist property, pride, image, and legacy. Although to many, Drake's sensitivity, both in 2013 and in 2024, ended up shaping the perception of his entire career. And that same sensitivity, the karma that ended up coming back to haunt him. Although the craziest part about Drake is he often doesn't learn from his mistakes or is making them all at the same time. Because this next example shows his sensitivity and a potential reason for one of the biggest artists in the world, yes, the world, not just hip-hop, will forever hate him. The Weeknd has made it pretty clear he does not like Drake, and to many people, his reasons are justified. Their relationship has always been strange, both from Toronto and both rising stars in 2011. The Weeknd appeared on the album Take Care, featuring twice and helping write several songs. The album debuted at #1 on Billboard, selling over 600,000 copies in the first week. This was a massive win for Drake, but it also put the Weeknd's name on the map.
He's like, he came in as, my big bro, and, showed the world what I could do.
But Drake was doing something else in the background. He was trying to sign the Weeknd to his label, OVO. But the Weeknd, he had other plans. He chose to sign with Republic Records instead of OVO. Likely a smart move on the back end. Republic can get his music more pop radio play, something that Drake's label couldn't do at the time. But Drake, he didn't take this lightly. He spent a lot of effort trying to sign the Weeknd. Not to mention, he tried to OVO and EXO to build a shared empire.
OVO XO is not always be.
It's not there right now. It's not.
It is.
It is to you guys.
No, but I mean, it is.
And the same day the Weeknd signed his deal, Drake tweeted something that fans immediately assumed was aimed at him. The tension between them had slowly started to build. In 2013, The Weeknd opened up publicly about his experience with OVO, and this wasn't one of those glowing reviews. In a Complex interview, he claimed Drake took songs from him for Take Care. Drake allegedly told him he couldn't make the album without him, softening the blow. But The Weeknd, he still made it clear. But despite that, they stayed toured together. They even toured together in the UK not long after. But after that tour ended, their friendship began to fracture for good. By 2016, The Weeknd was in a different place. In an interview with the Rolling Stone, he revealed he had given almost half of his own debut album for Drake's Take Care. But he also admitted Drake helped him early on. Although the timing of this statement is pretty interesting. His single The Hills had just knocked Drake's single Hotline Bling out of the number one spot on the Billboard. And Drake, he didn't like that. And he responded in a way he knows best, with his lyrics. Still, Drake publicly congratulated Abel on his success. He even promoted his album on social media, and then once again tried to bring OVO and EXO together. But that partnership never ended up happening. And behind the scenes, Drake wasn't letting go. In 2017, Drake was linked to Bella Hadid, The Weeknd's ex-girlfriend, who he dated for over a year. Drake posted about her publicly and even through her.
Is dating Drake. Is that third party?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are they together? Are they together?
I mean, they're friends.
They're friends. All right, very good.
And according to rumors, Drake later goes to Bella, likely after making his point clear, I can take a girl. Eventually, Bella and The Weeknd got back together. And with his girl back and his confidence restored, The Weeknd dropped what many consider a subtle jab at Drake on his 2019 song, Lost in Fire. Clear reference to Drake's son Adonis. And after hearing that, Drake reportedly unfollowed The Weeknd. But as time passed, small disses continued from both sides. Although in 2019, something odd happened. Drake seemed to acknowledge his own role that led to them falling out, admitting that he had done some not so nice things to The Weeknd.
My biggest regret would maybe be that we probably wasted 7 years not communicating with each other when we had something beautiful going on. You know, obviously, like you said, people have to grow and we got to work through things. And I have my fair share of shit to apologize for as a team. We've obviously had our bumps in the road. But
after that, things went pretty quiet. But what happened next was Drake's karma coming back to pay his visit. In March of 2024, The Weeknd appeared on Metro Boomin and featured joint albums We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You, both projects filled with Drake disses and collaborations from his rivals. But on the first album, The Weeknd didn't have any direct bars for Drake, although he still sang in the background. He hated Drake so much, he just wanted to be involved. Nonetheless, this was a statement. The Weeknd hadn't forgotten, and he definitely hadn't forgiven. But he was just getting started. On the second project, he finally spoke his mind. This was a direct reference to Drake's label OVO trying to sign him, and he was saying he was grateful he never did. Because outside of Drake, and arguably Party Next Door, no one from the label truly broke out. And looking at The Weeknd now, it's clear he made the right decision. But he wasn't done there. Here, The Weeknd seemed to be taking a shot at Drake's former bodyguard and OVO artists, mocking the idea that Drake's shooters were now making TikToks instead of handling business.
Hello, bitch. How you doing today?
At this point, it was obvious. The Weeknd and Drake were never going to be friends again. But as time passed, Drake decided to fire back. And this time, he went even more personal. On his diss track, Family Matters, he directly responded to The Weeknd's subliminals, bar for bar. Drake laughed at The Weeknd's insult, claiming that EXO's people aren't real threats. He's pretty much saying, my crew's real, and yours is just all talk. But Drake kept it going.
Drake finally addressed the elephant in the room, suggesting that The Weeknd was still bitter about him getting with Bella Hadid. He claimed that they never actually slept together, but I highly doubt The Weeknd cared if that's true. He knew Drake only did it out of spite to get back at him. But what Drake said next raised things to a new level. Whether these claims are true or not, one thing is for certain. The beef was deep, personal, and far from repair. So now we have to ask the question, is this another case of Drake's karma coming back to haunt him? To me, it all traces back to two things. The Weeknd refusing to sign with OVO, and Drake getting with Bella Hadid. Both of these things fractured the relationship beyond repair. And even 7 years later, Drake himself admitted The Weeknd still had to let go, which to many, they probably don't blame him for, and definitely think that this is Drake's karma coming back to haunt him. But with so many old friends turned enemies, you have to ask, does Drake really have bad karma with all of them? To most people, they'll say yes, but this next situation is so
need you out of myself.
You just have to see for yourself.
Parents, if your child plays Roblox, listen up. You could qualify for $200 or more.
Drake and Rick Ross timeless collaborations, filled with mutual respect. Just can't fake. Rick Ross made it clear everything Drake were no longer on good terms. That he joined Metro Boomin,
Big forehead, right?
Future, Kendrick Lamar, The Weeknd,
That boy forehead.
a move that publicly drew a line in the sand. And once
He
that
got to
happened,
keep the
the
type of
friendship
face.
was done. Drake responded to it with some bars on his diss track push-ups. And Rick Ross, he fired back with his own diss track, Champagne Moments. But the question everyone was asking was why did Rick Ross turn on Drake? For years, they've been a powerhouse duo.
Our relationship most definitely is real.
It's like one of my people in the game.
Even
Water came back for you. I just needed time to do what I had to do. Caught in the life. That's a real classic, chat. I can't let it go. Whether that's right, I won't ever know. But here goes nothing.
2020, they were still creating hits and speaking highly of one another.
Trying.
A long time ago. In time, it can change things.
That Lemon Pepper freestyle was something serious, chat.
But as
Folk got some
recently
hits.
as January 2024, everything between them seemed fine.
Dawson Drake got
Rose
some hits.
appeared on Aiden Ross's stream, complimenting Drake like nothing had ever gone wrong.
So Lemon Pepper's your favorite. That's the best. Yeah, that's why when you and Drake did that song, he had to have you on that.
Why not?
Like one of your favorite songs with Drake.
Stacey. Drake came out to us, came out in the streets, came to us, and when we put that record together, it was one of those vibes. So that was most definitely natural.
But just a few weeks later, everything shifted. Rick Ross joined the other team.
My boys, they joined the other team.
Lamar's verse towards Drake. But how the friends of over
Niggas clicking up. But
K-Dot
beat it legit no party water, nigga.
The beef started because Drake allegedly sent this
Them niggas be some real life, right?
to French Montana.
I followed you because you sent the mother cease and desist to French Montana.
But to most people, including me, that never really made sense. Ending one of the strongest and most profitable friendships over an alleged cease and desist, not to mention with someone who was
Cease and
Drake's
desist
friend,
about what?
none of this added up. And at the
What
time,
happened?
in my Drake Rick Ross breakdown, I said there was more. And as it turns
Come
out,
on, I
I was
don't
right.
lie. You
The
must think
first
you
reason I gave for why Rick Ross actually turned on Drake
Cause your
was
ass went to
simple.
sleep, nigga.
Ross didn't like him before he made it public. He was just waiting for the rest of the rap world to
Hey,
see
you
him on
said
Drake.
five.
That time arrived. Everyone wanted to see Drake fail. And Rick Ross, he saw an opening to
Chad
stand
them on his ass
alongside
about
some of the personnel he hid behind the cease and desist story. It was a pretty easy excuse, something that would make him look justified instead of jealous. But as time went on, Ross's own words started to prove my theory right. In September 2024, he did an interview where he was asked his name first.
Give me 1 second. Fuck that 1 second, chat. When we get through with this video, I'll be over on Money Man
I'm not
Lunch.
gonna say his business. He mentioned my name. You know what I mean?
You wasn't mentioned, but you saying Drake said your name first.
Yeah, like I said, he mentioned my name, and that's a no-no. Don't do that.
But here's the problem. There's no evidence of that. Back in January 2024, Ross was still speaking highly of Drake. Even in December 2023, he and Meek Mill were publicly talking about getting Drake on their album.
Greatest of all time, Drake features. And yes, Meek Mill with the boy Heavy. My head on some of this music that's coming out very soon. You heard?
Both of those moments came right after Drake dropped For All the Dogs in October 2023, and Drake didn't release any new music until Push-Ups. So unless Drake said something behind closed doors, in that small window between January and March 2024, there's a good chance Ross was lying. My second theory is that the follow-up Drake to appear on their album in late 2023. When that didn't happen, it rubbed Rick
It's
bad.
coming out very soon. It's coming out very soon. You heard?
You know why allegedly there?
You know
they
why
got
allegedly
into
there?
it, or not
They
got into it,
or not
really
got into it, but
Ross
like
don't-
really
don't
wild Ross
fuck
don't
with Drake.
don't
It's
fuck
kind of
with
like the
Drake.
same
It's
thing.
kind of like the same
I told
thing.
you other rappers told me,
I
they're
told
like,
you other
yo,
rappers
Drake
told me,
was
they're like,
stringing
yo,
songs
Drake was
for
stringing
endless
songs
amount of
for
time.
endless
Even
amount of
we'll
time.
push our
Even
albums
we'll
back.
push our
Because he'd
album
be like, nah, send me a
Because he's
song.
like, nah, send me a
Send
song.
him a song. We don't get
Send
it.
him a song. We don't get it.
Don't get it, or
Don't
you
get
get
it.
it. You don't want to clear
You
it.
don't want
Oh,
to
we
clear
don't want
it.
to drop
Oh,
it.
we don't want
Oh,
to drop it. Oh,
the boy doesn't want to put
doesn't
this out
want to
right
put this out
now.
right now.
The boy.
On top of that, the long-rumored Drake and Rick Ross collab album that fans have been waiting on for years never dropped.
Huh.
So Metro rumored
Water came back for you.
Launch We Don't Trust You, he saw a win-win scenario. Get back at
We
Drake.
finna get high
Get
before we
away
go
from
over the
what
Money
seems like
Man
a
Lunch.
sinking ship. The cease and desist was just the story he
Give out.
used to make it sound like business instead of
With
Drake.
5 minutes
To
left.
me, this isn't Drake's fault.
I'm giving him the closing
Maybe it took
argument.
too long to follow through on the collab album, and maybe he kept Rick Ross waiting.
But to turn on a close friend, especially when that friend
is already being targeted by half the industry,
says more about Rick
Ross than it does for Drake.
And if we really think about it,
if this rap civil war never happened, they'd probably be friends
to
today.
this day.
To
Ross
made
made
this
this
move
move, it's convenient, not to mention trendy. And funny enough, in some of his most recent interviews, Rick Ross has made the situation sound forced, not that serious, and even fake.
Y'all got classics together.
If it's real niggas, if real niggas gonna stay real. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Was it something really deep? No. That's what it's.
Could that
Especially the white one, you know?
The white one. But although it looks like Drake's success may have been the reason for Rick Ross switching sides, not the karma of his own actions, this next situation is way more controversial.
Some say a person Drake did a lot for turned on him, and some say this may be Drake's biggest example of his karma coming back to haunt him.
Get your free copy of my new bestseller, Commercial Real Estate Investing for Beginners.
Fuck you. Pay homage to Drake like no other.
I'm the only person that put on for me when I ain't had nobody who's Drake. Ever old Drake.
Drake fought to take A$AP Rocky and Kendrick Lamar on tour with him back in 2012, which is one of the reasons A$AP was so grateful for him.
You know, it's people like to put on here, some labels want me to put on here, but I fight for this one reason, man. I got to promote what I love, promote what I love. I fight to promote the music that I choose.
So the big question is, how did A$AP Rocky go from saying he forever owed Drake flat out hating him? Drake and A$AP Rocky's beef is one that many know involves Rihanna, but what most people don't realize is that there's a lot of information that rarely gets talked about, and it's actually crucial to understanding the real story. Drake and Rihanna were first rumored to be seeing each other around 2009, shortly after she broke up with Chris Brown. The truth is, Drake always liked Rihanna way more than Rihanna liked Drake. And for anyone that's watching that's been there, the feeling of wanting someone who doesn't really feel the same way stings pretty bad. In 2010, Drake told the New York Times he felt Rihanna used him like a pawn. However, she did admit there was something between them, but said she didn't want to pursue it further, explaining she was still fragile from her last breakup. But Drake, being Drake, the certified lover boy, couldn't walk away that easily. A few months later, he worked with Rihanna again on her hit song What's My Name. That collaboration was huge and built undeniable chemistry between them, but it didn't end the way Drake hoped. He later said he poured that heartbreak into his 2011 song called Fireworks, where he dedicated an entire verse to Rihanna.
And I never forget it, baby. What it is experience. Could have been the one, but it wasn't that serious. There was smoke in the air before. That was me clearing it.
Even after that, Drake didn't seem to learn his lesson. On November 15, 2011, he and Rihanna reunited on Take Care. In the video, they were holding each other close, and the world assumed Drake had finally got the girl he'd been chasing for years. And maybe he thought so too.
Is what I do.
Things fell apart again.
I'll take you.
Drake dropped No Lie, 2 Chainz, and delivered some lines that seemed directed right at Rihanna. Drake was referencing Rihanna's Grammy win and her hit What's Her Name, framing the relationship of a casual fling while also masking what was clearly deeper hurt. He also made it seem like he moved on, that he got what he wanted one time and was just fine with it. But by 2013, the situation became even messier. A$AP Rocky, who had been Drake's concert opener, was suddenly in Rihanna's orbit. They'd been linked back since 2012, and in 2013, they filmed a music video for Fashion Killer. Fans noticed how natural the chemistry looked, and there's a good chance Rocky even wrote some of those lyrics with Rihanna in mind. Both of them denied being more friends, but you can't help but imagine Drake wasn't thrilled seeing his close friend getting close to someone he'd loved for
That's
years.
my bitch.
Over time, Drake and Rihanna reconnected again in 2016, making more music together and appearing to be on good terms. But this would be the last time they were ever friendly. That same year, one of Drake's most awkward public moments happened. One that made a lot of people in the friend zone feel a bit better about themselves. On live television, MTV VMAs, Drake poured his heart out while presenting Rihanna with an award. He told the world he'd loved her for years. Rihanna to dodge his kiss in front of millions of viewers.
She's someone I fell in love with since I was 22 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the Michael Jackson Vanguard Award for 2016.
It's one of those moments Drake never forgot, and honestly, who could? 2 years later, in 2018, Rihanna revealed in an interview that she and Drake weren't even friends anymore. But that wasn't the biggest blow. In 2021, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky announced they were expecting their first child together. 2 years later, in August 2023, they welcomed their second. Most people saw his life moving on. Rihanna found happiness, and Drake would too.
Drake, he didn't see it that way. In 2023, Drake reignited the tension in music. On his album For All the Dogs, the song Fear of Heights included bars that had everyone talking. If there was any doubt on who he was talking about, the next line is made obvious. The repetition of Anti wasn't random. It was a direct reference to Rihanna's 2016 album, Anti, which featured Work, a track Drake himself appeared on. He also implied their intimacy wasn't that special, saying the bedroom was average, and that he'd been with women way better than Rihanna. Hearing Drake say things like that in 2023 is pretty shocking, especially considering how publicly he did once express love for her.
She's someone I've been in love since I was 22 years old.
But the shots didn't stop there. And he now turned his focus to A$AP Rocky. Drake was suggesting Rocky was stuck in a relationship tied down because of the two children they shared. Then when we look at another late night, Drake made his whole message crystal clear. He was saying A$AP Rocky might be stylish, but Drake is the one who brings the pressure, turning Rocky's nickname Pretty Flocko into a diss. But Rocky wasn't about to let that slide. In January 2024, on Wow with Kid Cudi, he sent a reply Drake just couldn't ignore. Rocky was letting Drake know that clearly eats Drake alive, knowing she chose him instead. But just when you think that might be the end, the real moment came on April 12, 2024, when Metro Boomin and Future dropped We Still Don't Trust You, their second album of the year. Like the first, it was filled with subliminals aimed at Drake, and this time A$AP Rocky was featured. On the song Show of Hands, he came directly to Drake.
You in there fucking up that cage?
Rocky mocked Drake for being emotional about Rihanna, then delivered a shocking line that had fans talking. I smashed before you birthed, son. Flocko hit first, son. Rocky was implying he'd been with Drake's baby mama, so before Drake ever met her. Whether that's true or not, the implication alone was enough to send the internet into chaos. But he ended up following that up. This was a jab at For All the Dogs, suggesting it underperformed and didn't leave a lasting impact. But Drake he'd heard enough. On his song Family Matters, he came back swinging. Drake was flipping the narrative, pointing out that during the same time frame, he was with Rihanna, Rocky's current partner. And I'll be honest, Rocky is one of my favorite rappers, but this bar didn't really make sense. And those bars were essentially a preview for what was to come, because Drake, he then came with what many seen as the lyrical checkmate. This was a brutal but accurate shot. Over time, Rocky had become more recognized as fashion than music. Drake was highlighting that shift, suggesting his career was running on image more than output. But Rocky didn't exactly prove him wrong. During promo for his upcoming album, a snippet of Hijack leaked, where he repeated the same disses about Drake's baby mama and Rihanna. Lyrically, Drake won this one, but emotionally, Rocky came out on top. He's living the life Drake always wanted. With the woman, Drake never got over. So is this beef Drake's fault? Probably. You could argue Rocky crossed the line, hanging around Rihanna in 2013 after everything Drake did for him. But you could also say Drake should have let go of the past. Instead, he carried this
my bitch now,
for a decade. In the end, it's another story.
Nigga, that my business.
Coming around to haunt him. Although some will say Rocky isn't haunting him too bad based on the lyrics, but it's more about haunting him that he has a beautiful family with the love of his life. But when it comes to karma, what goes around always comes around. And
this is what 500,000
fuck yeah, bitch.
looks like. But if you
Yeah,
it's
man.
actually not real. That's because it's actually
Report. Fucking ad.
that, as it may be part of the reason things went so south with Rihanna and Rocky, as Drake was once on the other side of a love triangle and hurting a former
Joe
friend's romantic life forever.
Drake and Joe Budden
Drake and Joe Budden weren't just two rappers. They were friends who once respected each other's grind. But what started as mutual admiration slowly turned into one of the
Joe fucking Budden
in modern rap. A story filled with ego, betrayal, and even rumors
Joe
of
goddamn
them being
Budden
involved with the same woman, and a woman Joe once proposed to. The first crack in their friendship appeared in 2016 when Drake dropped his album Views. At the time, Joe was still building his very successful podcast. It didn't even have an official name yet. It was literally called I'll Name This Podcast Later. Everyone was reviewing Views.
The Joe Budden
Joe's
podcast
take hit a little different. On May 4th, 2016, during episode 64, he gave his honest opinion, and to Drake, maybe a little too honest.
I think that kid on that album that I heard sounds real good. I think that music real good. You can't fool a real nigga.
He said he was still a fan, but to many people online, it sounded like Joe was taking cheap shots at Drake. But what really stirred things up is how Joe promoted this episode. He posted short teaser clips before the full one actually dropped. Out of context, they made it look like he was just clowning Drake the entire time, and the internet
ran with it. Maybe it was planned, maybe it wasn't. Either way, it worked.
So this is how Joe Budden blew up.
Went viral and helped turn Joe's small podcast into the powerhouse it is today.
Off of this and Drake.
Although he wasn't amused. A couple months later, in July of 2016, he fired back on No Shopping with French Montana, slipping in some bars that made it clear he'd heard everything Joe said. This was a direct shot at Joe's 2003 hit, Pump It Up, reminding him that while Joe had one moment, Drake built an entire empire. Joe tried to play cool at first, acting unsure the bars ran at him. But Drake, he made sure there was no confusion. Later that summer, on 4 p.m. in Calabasas, another record loaded with subliminal shots.
And this is where things began to get personal. Around the same time, photos surfaced of Drake on vacation with Joe's ex-girlfriend, Tahiri Jose, the same woman Joe had once proposed to and been turned down by.
I need you. I don't want to spend another day without you.
Love is trust, and I don't trust you right now.
Hitting it bit.
Rumors started swirling that they were dating, although Tahiri denied it in an interview with DJ Vlad.
That was really old. When I saw it online, I was surprised myself. It was really old.
Were you guys dating at the time?
Drake and I were getting to know each other.
What happened?
Getting to know each other.
But there was a crazy.
See that smile on her face?
Drake had been caught admiring
Getting to know each other,
Joe Budden's own YouTube channel. Prove he'd been interested long before.
Look at her, a freak.
Tahiri looks great.
Joe claimed he wasn't bothered.
Did you ever text Tahiri like a word?
No, I hit Drake.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
What did you say?
I said, yo, don't think that I'm one of the sucker ass that's gonna be mad about that. Like I want you to know. Okay.
But his next move said otherwise. He came out of retirement.
Part 1, a direct diss track towards Drake. He called Drake overly sensitive, accused him of being unable to take criticism, took shots at Drake subliminals, even accusing him of liking Joe's exes. But he didn't stop there. A week later, Joe dropped another diss called Wake. This time accusing Drake of stealing from his own artists and attaching himself to whoever was hot at the time. You're the guy that rides waves, never the one who starts them.
Then came a third track called Afraid, another lyrical assault expanding on the same themes. Despite its quality, Joe's disses were slept on by most mainstream fans. But the
It sound like he's talking about something.
Drake's fans pulled up outside Joe's house, recording themselves taunting him. Joe being Joe, chased them off with his bare hands. A moment that instantly went viral and became one of 2016's wildest internet clips. Somehow after all that chaos, Drake tried to extend an olive branch. He invited Joe to one of his shows, maybe to talk, maybe to make peace, although Joe turned it down, later admitting he didn't trust Drake's intentions. In the months that followed, Joe said he was genuinely hurt by the situation, saying that he thought they were closer than that Drake should have known it wasn't personal. By 2020, things seemed better. The two reunited on Instagram Live.
I'm finna go to Money Man Lowe's, man. Baby Red. I don't know what this shit is, but y'all just look up String with the Motion, String with the Bro. I'm on that bitch. It's your boy, MBP motherfucking that. And it's been real, y'all. Oh, God. I sat on that bitch, watched a little video, got high. Man, why you got my lips looking ashy like that? Look like my whole shit ash. Be right before I go to the other stream. There we go. Put some color on my face, y'all. I'm melting it. My shit is getting a little purple though. You just stop smoking. It's your boy MBP. It's been real. Appreciate y'all for staying with me through this video. Yeah.